Okay, so next up is Henley. Henley is actually my little horse who came to me in July. So we call it the reverse round pen because we're on the inside, they're on the outside, which I said earlier. And we use it for things like helping them to really develop a little bit of their own balance. We can start over time when we can work on their transitions. When their transitions are good, we can actually begin to work on their uh, how they use themselves, you know. So is their head high? Is their head lower? Is their back arched or is their back lower? Is there, or, you know, arched this way versus this way? Is it, are they using their hind end? Are they getting underneath themselves? We use it in all those things to teach them and help them to develop some biomechanic skills. In this situation, what I'm really wanting from her is her transitions. I would like to see her uh, go from the walk to the trot and to the hoe. Those are the three pieces I'm looking for. I find the trot is her slower one, so I may put a little bit of extra emphasis on that. But being as cold as it is today, I may have too much trot and too much Henley, so I may be looking for a little bit more on the downward transitions. So first things first, we use Liberty leading to initially teach this, just except I'm on one side, she's on the other. And so I'm going to start with that using those building blocks, those successive approximations, those tiny steps that have built to shape this behavior in the process of shaping this behavior. And I'm going to go back and remind her what it looks like. So what I'm looking for. So I help bring clarity to it, help set her up for success, and then can kind of build from where I see. I, I, I would like to say I have this specific plan that I'm going to go do. I don't, because what I need to do is see what horse I have today. And I think that's really important to keep in mind is I may have a plan, but I may have to, and more often than not, need to veer from that plan and help the horse who's there today or whatever. You know, they're dealing with the cold, they're dealing with the water truck that came, you know, whatever it might be. So I don't want to get so caught up in my plan that I forget to pay attention to the horse and the information they're giving through their body language and their actions and their facial expressions. All those pieces are really important information. So I'm going to pay close attention to that and kind of gauge it from what I see here today with Henley. So what I'm really seeing from Henley is I'm seeing a little horse who's really has a lot of energy because it's cold. That doesn't bother me. It's we will have to deal with it some point. Good. So I like that she waited. I thought at that moment she might walk on. So I like that she waited, and that was really good. So just because she's not perfect, I don't care. I think that that's actually that's true and that's realistic. Henley, can I go this way? Good. Good girl. And can I go this way? Good girl. So she does have a bundle of energy. And again, I think it's really because it's cold. So it makes it more challenging for her to focus. Oh, good. Now, what I like there, she was still a little too far ahead of me, but she stopped and then rocked back on her foot to put herself in a little better position. So I like that piece. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go to the reverse round pen because I think right now it would be smarter for me to give her a place to put that energy than keep trying to trying to get her to stop with that energy. Good. So now I can kind of walk a little bit bigger. I feed over where I want her head to be because ideally I want her to stop. It's straight. Good girl. Good. So remember, this is just the beginning steps. Good girl. Walk on. And I want to be able to fade myself a little bit to the outside. Good. And what I really like there, she realized she was trotting and I didn't ask her. And she went back down to the walk. And that was really good. Okay, and trot. Keep going. You got it. Good. Now, is she a little speedy? Yeah, she is. But basically that's not my worry right yet. What I'm looking for is less than her pace is more that she's responding and going. And ho. And where's your head go? Good. It's a little wiggly. Ready? And trot. Good girl. Keep going. And I kind of knew that was in there. Good girl. So what I did is just try to look for her to stay straight, for her to straighten herself out and not look so chaotic. I wanted it to look a little deliberate. I know that there is play in there because of it being cold and her being a yearling. Good. But I don't mind that she plays and does that. But what I do is focus on what I do want to see more of. I have some carrots for her as addition to the other parts of hay pellets and low fat. Good. And I don't know if you could see that. She looked bright and started to trot, and she slowed and settled into a walk. Good girl. And again, she's ready to go because that's more fun than this standing. So I'm using the movement to actually reinforce her. And trot. Good girl. Good, 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 good. And even though she turned in, I go feed her where I want her head to be. And walk on. And so while I'm working on the downward transitions and the settling, today is a harder day for that because of her having the extra energy. So I, instead of trying to fight against it, I say, okay, well, let's work on the going today and let you get that energy out. It's a way that I can help walk on, set her up for success. Good girl. Yep. And you can see she knows the good girl already because she looks in when I do it. That's nice. It's not necessarily a bridge signal, but she does know it's a way of knowing that she's on the right track. So she responds a little extra to it right yet, but it is something that can help reassure her. Good. And that was not even looking like wanting to trot. Good girl, Henley. Okay. Good girl. And ho. Good. Now you see, I could work myself up or work myself down into the downward transition and a little bit slower by letting her actually have the energy out a little bit. It helped her to be able to focus a little bit more. Okay, let's go this direction. Good. And I don't want her so focused on where I am. I want her to keep a side view of me, but not be like, hello. So I look for the times I feel like she has me in her focus, but she's not directly looking at me like that because that's not very helpful. And so what I try to do is just carry on. Keep going, Henley. Good. And trot. Yep. And I could see that energy was a little, keep going. Good girl. I could see that energy was a little much. So I thought I got to give her an out with that energy because it's just going to create things I don't want. So I thought, let's just get on with it. I see this is a challenging day because of the weather, but so let's get on with it. And we'll continue to work with that. Good. It doesn't mean this is the beginning stages. I say that's where we are. I make a mental note and I tend to incorporate it more and more as we go. So the criterion kind of shifts as we go. Ready? And trot. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Good. Now, I don't know if you noticed what I like there is she's kind of kept wanting to come into me more on this side. So what I liked is when we went around, I dropped back a little, she actually straightened herself out. So I clicked at that moment to say, yes, I like that you straightened yourself out. Good girl. So I can help as she corrects herself. I can communicate. I like that piece a lot. Good girl. Yes. Easy. Come here. And she's hopped right over this before. So I'm trying to help her figure out to stay easy, does it? Good girl. And trot. And so I don't keep going. Good. So again, you could see, I'm going to leave it right there. And what I saw there is she kept wanting to come in. At every cone, she was wanting to come in. And that's something she got better about in their one little good session outside. So what I did, I clicked on the moment where I felt like her head went out a little bit. Her head and shoulders looked out. Her head looked out. Her shoulders went out a little bit. And she wasn't so focused on where Y was. So that was a really good decision. So that, for an early session, I thought was fantastic.